I'm Tim Malloy with the Civic Association, and this is Palm Beach TV, an update on the COVID virus, which we do every week, seemingly endlessly. 35,000 plus people have it, or have had it in Palm Beach County. 88 is now the number in the town of Palm Beach, and sadly, we've lost 4 people to the coronavirus. The Civic Association, as your members will find out, are mailing all of you these masks, very durable and terrific, and that you should get that in the mail. So we will update you on those numbers throughout the week as they change, but we are still very much in a crisis point, though things are slightly flattening out. Now, the hurricane that wasn't, call it a thunderstorm on steroids, call it a dress rehearsal. Isaias, the hurricane, at least here, was a big flop. It was a Category 2 hurricane, but for a short time, and it generated some decent waves. But by the time it drew parallel to Palm Beach, it was a tropical storm, with gusts approaching 60 miles per hour. It had enough muscle to knock down a power line in front of greens near Sunrise. It didn't generate a high enough tide to jump the lake's seawall, and it did very little damage, save one of the newly planted trees, which haven't taken root enough to survive the gusts. That was in Bradley Park. Sunday afternoon, it was clear it would stay at least 40 miles offshore, and the people were flocking back to the beach. No reports of injuries or damage to homes. The understandable concerns over the havoc of a big storm in the middle of the coronavirus melted away as the system steadily tracked north. So bad news for the Northeast, obviously, because they got hammered by the storm, but we were, of course, very lucky. This is just a prelude to what could be coming. That was the 9th tropical system so far in this very early year. We're really in the teeth of hurricane season, so we all have to be alert. Now, let's talk about beautification. There's a lot of people who care deeply about how this town looks and how this town feels and love the town and are working toward all that. Here's Wendy Rutledge with an update on a new committee.
We're here at the beautiful Pan's Garden, whose mission it is to showcase native Florida plants, and it is in fact the perfect place to tell you all about the brand new committee at the Palm Beach Civic Association, the Environmental Beautification Committee. This 1-acre central Palm Beach wonderland known as Pan's Garden was created in 1994 with the mission of protecting and celebrating Florida's indigenous plants and the wildlife they support.
This is a great place for Palm Beachers to come in to see how they can incorporate native plants into their own gardening.
Dragana Connaughton and Linda Beatty co-chair this new Environmental Beautification Committee, whose mission, as is that of Pan's Garden, is to educate and inspire Palm Beach residents to embrace what grows naturally without chemical pesticides or fertilizers.
It is harming all the beneficial bugs, and we need those bugs in order to have a healthy environment. Otherwise our birds and our whole environment will be gone.
When asked how to inspire locals to ditch the pesticides and go native in their gardens, Director of Horticulture at Pan's Garden, Susan Lerner, puts it this way.
I remind them that their children ought to grow up, and their grandchildren ought to grow up with knowing caterpillars and the life cycle of the butterfly and enjoy the birds. I mean, this is a food web and we're part of it. We're not above it all. We're an integral and important part of it. And if we kill the bottom of it, it's a house of cards and it collapses, and we fall with it.
For the Palm Beach Civic Association, I'm Wendy Rutledge reporting.
The candidates who are running for seats on the Port Commission exchanged their views on a forum sponsored by the Civic Association on Monday, and Wendy Rutledge has more on that.
The Port of Palm Beach occupies 162 acres and is extremely busy every year, processing $7 billion in commodities, roughly 2.5 million tons of cargo, and 700,000 cruise passengers annually. All of this activity is overseen by the Port Commission. Several seats on the commission are up for election in the August primary. Recently, the Palm Beach Civic Association hosted a virtual candidates forum, moderated by veteran newsman Jim Sackett. Of the 7 candidates running for seats on the Port Commission, 4 chose to participate. Here is a brief excerpt from the candidates' remarks.
There are only 59 employees that work for the port. Everyone else works for our tenants. I know each and every one of those employees. I know them well. I know their strengths. I know their weaknesses. I know their job descriptions, and I know the expectations. I'm the only one with that kind of experience.
I ran because I felt that we did not need to dredge any deeper since no tenants needed it, and it would hurt the environment.
That's why we're running, to have the port use its economic muscle, all those revenues that it generates, or the impacts of revenues that it generates for this entire county, to transform that into an economic engine and benefit for all of the municipalities and surrounding waterfront communities within the port district.
I ran a port when I was in Okinawa, Japan. I was done at the chief orchestrator of the port, making sure that dredging happened, making sure it was secured, making sure that the economic engine of the port kept going.
You can watch the full hour-long forum on our website at www.palmbeachcivic.org. And make sure to look for our next candidate forum featuring those running for Palm Beach County Commission, District 1. We'll have that for you early next week. For the Palm Beach Civic Association, I'm Wendy Rutledge reporting.
Amidst all the chaos and sadness that we have, something wonderful happens this time of year. It's the sea turtle hatching season, where the little guys go back into the ocean. Well, we're lucky because our photojournalist, who does just about everything else, Philip Baldwin, studied for 3 years on hatching season up in Hutchinson Island. He's a trained marine biologist, and he explains what happens. Take a look at Dragana Connaughton's pictures, which she took over the weekend.
First, I must say that Dragana took some wonderful pictures of nesting and hatching loggerhead sea turtles. Loggerheads are the most common nesters in Florida, with around 100,000 nests per year. Palm Beach County just barely beats out Brevard County for the most loggerhead nests per season, about 25 to 30,000 nests per season. Although most nesting happens at night, some happens at dusk and dawn, and desperate mama turtles will even lay her eggs in the middle of the day. But that's pretty rare. We believe that loggerheads are over 30 years old when they begin to nest. They lay up to 7 nests per season, with an average of about 100 eggs per nest. In Florida, the nest average between 50 to 55 days to hatch. If you see a nesting turtle, don't touch the turtle, don't approach its head while it's nesting, or impede it from getting back to the ocean. If you see hatchlings, don't pick them up, just let them be. At night, do not use a flashlight on the beach, because this can scare off nesting turtles and disorient the hatchlings and keep them from getting to the ocean. If you see exposed nest or loose eggs on the beach after a storm, sorry, there's nothing that can be done for them. But don't take them off the beach. You'll get in trouble. We are very fortunate to share our beaches with these majestic animals that have been nesting here for thousands of years.
The town of Palm Beach is reminding all of us that it is not too late to complete the 2020 census. It's estimated that Palm Beach will lose roughly $30,000 per person for every resident who was living on the island on April 1st but has not yet filled out the form. If that is you, just click the link below to help out your town.
Thankfully, not much to report as far as angry seas in the coming week, but Lex, the lifeguard down at the town's Midtown Beach, has an overview of what we're going to see out there this weekend. Lex, we dodged a bullet on the hurricane, but we've had some nasty stuff since.
Yeah, definitely dodged a bullet. We've had some real nasty afternoon thunderstorms lately. Winds gusting anywhere up to 45, 50 miles an hour. On here on the beach, that can kick the sand up and everything like that.
Yeah.
The sand can really sting. You know, there could be flying debris, flying objects on the beach when we have gusts that high. All the lightning and the rain, it just makes for an unsafe environment. And we just, please, if we advise you to get off the beach, just kind of follow our orders.
Actually, looking behind you, it's a possibility today. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a big front behind us, too.
All right, so also the hurricane, which wasn't, for us anyway, stirred up the waters. It's not exactly ideal to go in there right now.
No, so what it did provide, we're lucky that we didn't have any damage or anything like that. It did provide some pretty high surf, pretty good surf.
Yeah.
We were happy for, the couple days that it was here, but the aftermath of that is it kind of stirred up a lot of the sand and a lot of the stuff on the reef and everything. A lot of the seaweed that was up on the shore got drug into the ocean, and you'll see it's probably like 20 or 30 yards out. It's real silty, real milky.
Not ideal for swimming.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not ideal. It's just the visibility isn't great. There's a lot of itchy stuff in there.
Yeah. We also touched on, just earlier in this little program, about the sea turtles.
Yeah.
You guys are very fastidious about making sure people don't step where they should not. So let's just reinforce that, because they're hatching now, right?
Right, they are. The first thing is you see the stakes,
Yeah.
you see the pink tape, the yellow
I see
tape,
them over
blue
there,
tape.
yeah.
Just leave them alone. Please don't hang your bathing suit, sandals, sunglasses, belongings on the stakes. Don't set up near the nests. You know, we don't know when they're gonna hatch. If you see hatchlings, please don't touch them. Advise the lifeguards, or call Loggerhead Marine Life Center or
Yeah.
Gumbo Limbo. But we highly advise that nobody, when they see a hatchling in the seaweed or on the sand in the middle of the day, go anywhere near it. It's just, it's a part of its process. So.
All right, and finally, all's quiet in the eastern front, as they say, the eastern Atlantic anyway, so we're good for now, but this is the season. Here we go.
Yeah, this is when it's all going to be starting up, so we'll see.
We will, of course, record the County Commission Forum for District 1 and turn it around very quickly so you can see it next week. I'm Tim Malloy for Palm Beach TV and the Civic Association, where membership matters. If you are a member, we hope you'll renew with us. If you're not, we hope you'll join us. We really hope you'll wear a mask. A lot of people do not. You have to think of other people, and that's the point behind all of it, not just protecting yourself, protecting others. We are still in the teeth of the coronavirus, and it's still very problematic for all of us. We leave you with the less than tranquil seas as the hurricane just brushed by us, but there's some pretty impressive ocean shots. Take a look.